Hello everyone, I'm Time Well Played, where your time matters more than mine, so let's not waste it. Today, we're diving into Hogwarts Legacy, a game that lets you live out the dream so many of us had as a kid, attending Hogwarts as your own custom witch or wizard. It's not a tie-in, it's not a mobile game, this is the full-blown Wizarding World RPG fans have waited decades for. As always, the verdict comes first. This game scores a solid 7.5 out of 10, which means it proudly earns the no time wasted stamp. If you got a few minutes to spare, I'll show you exactly why, and also where it could have used a little bit more magic. Let's get started. Hogwarts Legacy was hyped for years, and let's be real, the idea of a massive open-world Harry Potter game is a no-brainer. From the moment the game boots up, it hits you with that iconic Wizarding World atmosphere. The orchestral score swells, the castle looms in the distance, the Hogwarts Express waits on the tracks. It is nostalgia wrapped in polish. You don't play as Harry, Ron, or Hermione here. You create your own character, dropped into Hogwarts as a fifth-year transfer student. Why so late, you might ask? The game kind of hand-waves it with a magical excuse, but honestly it's never really explained. Still, it's a small price to pay for the power fantasy of unlocking advanced spells very early on. What follows is a sprawling adventure through Hogwarts, Hogsmeade, the Forbidden Forest, and way beyond. Let me say this clearly, Hogwarts itself is breathtaking. The castle is practically a character. Moving staircases, talking paintings, enchanted armor, hidden passageways. It's alive with detail. It's the kind of place you don't just want to explore, you really want to live in it. Just walking from class to class feels magical on its own. Even after 30 hours of gameplay, I was still finding new corridors I hadn't seen before.
Revelio.
Exploration is arguably the strongest part of the game. You're constantly rewarded with secrets, collectibles and puzzle solving. Spells like Aloamora unlock doors, Lumos lights your path, and Accio solves environmental puzzles. There's a real tactical joy in using magic just to interact with the world. The rest of the world, like the Highlands, Hogsmeade and various hamlets, they are beautiful, but start to blend together after a while. A lot of the towns feel copy-pasted, with similar layouts and repeated side quest structures. Still, Hogwarts itself, masterfully designed, worth the price of admission alone. Combat in Hogwarts Legacy is actually surprisingly fun, once it clicks. It's all about chaining spells like combos. You start with Levioso to lift enemies, you pull them in with Accio, follow up with Incendio or Depulso to blast them away, throw in some ancient magic or Protego parries, and you've got a very fluid combat rhythm. Later in the game, you unlock dark arts and some seriously flashy moves. And yes, Avada Kedavra is in the game. And yes, it one-shots almost everything. It's broken, it's absurd, it's honestly a little fun to abuse. But as the game goes on, the enemy variety starts to wear thin. You'll mostly fight the same handful of enemies, goblins, spiders, poachers, and the undead. There's not much evolution in tactics, and stronger enemies are just spongier. Also, the camera can get really messy in tight spaces. If you're backed into a corner, expect some awkward angles and spell misfires. Let's talk about the story. The main plot revolves around a mysterious ancient magic that only you, the protagonist, can wield. It's fine, it's serviceable, it gets the job done, but don't expect much in the way of moral dilemmas or branching narratives. Even if you go full dark arts, nobody really calls you out on it. There's no real consequence to your choices. It's just cosmetic differences in some dialogue and gameplay. That being said, there are highlights, of course. Professor Fig stands out as a mentor figure with real depth to him. And then there is Sebastian Sallow, a fellow student with a dark and tragic side story that honestly outshines the main plot. His companion questline is arguably the most emotional and well-written part of the game. But a lot of the other characters, they feel underwritten, they feel a little bit flat. You won't remember half of them by the time the credits roll. And sadly, no Quidditch. I know, it really hurts. There are broom races and flying, but the absence of Quidditch, even as a DLC maybe, feels like a huge missed opportunity. Progression in Hogwarts Legacy is pretty satisfying, at least at first. You gradually unlock new spells, traits, and crafting systems. The Room of Requirement acts as your personal base, and it's surprisingly customizable. You can decorate it, plant magical herbs, raise beasts like mooncalves and nifflers, and you can also brew some potions. It's cozy and rewarding up to a certain point. The loot system though, it is really bloated. You'll find hundreds of gear pieces, most with incremental stat bumps. There's a lot of time spent in menus comparing scarves and glasses that are barely different. It adds busy work without meaningful choices. And your character's appearance is heavily tied to the gear, unless you use transmog options to override it, which thankfully the game does support. On a technical level, Hogwarts Legacy is mostly solid, now though. At launch, the performance was very rocky. We had a lot of frame drops, long load times, texture issues, especially on PC and older consoles. Now though, on PS5 and high-end PCs, it's mostly smoothed out. That said, NPCs still feel a bit stiff, pathfinding is occasionally a little bit janky, and transitions into buildings often have a long faded to black screens. The soundtrack here is excellent. It pays tribute to the classic Harry Potter themes while carving out its own identity. Sweeping orchestras, mysterious undertones, gentle piano during emotional scenes, it fits beautifully. Voice acting though is a little bit mixed. Some characters are really great, others might sound a little bit robotic. Especially your custom character. Depending on which voice pitch setting you choose, the delivery can be really flat, which occasionally breaks immersion during emotional moments. So, is Hogwarts Legacy worth your time? It absolutely is. It's not perfect. It doesn't revolutionize the open world design, and the story could have used some more heart and choice, but it absolutely captures the feeling of being a Hogwarts student. And for many fans, that's probably more than enough. Even with its repetitive combats and shallow morality system, the world is rich, the spellcasting feels great, and just walking through the castle, it's magical. It is the best Wizarding World game ever made, and a promising first step for future entries. That's it for me. I'm Time Well Played, and if I saved you some time today, consider giving some back with a like or a subscribe. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.